Hey everyone, today let's talk about the absolutely amazing Xbox emulation that the system is capable of, where you can have emulators from various classic systems like from all the way from the NES, seemingly up to the sixth generation. There's a separate 360 emulator, but we're not talking about that today. Today we're going to be talking about RetroArch and various other standalone apps that you can download. So before we get into that, I have to emphasize this. I am not telling you where to get the ROMs. That is your own prerogative whenever it's through legitimate backing up your games to your PC by legitimate methods or by downloading through websites, which is probably the most commonly used, most likely. So how you get those ROMs is your own business. Now with that out of the way, let's actually get to it. So to first start off, you'll need to go to this website called Gamer13, and once you do that, you will sign up for their Discord. You join their Discord server and look for the proper channels where you can get the links to download the apps. Keep in mind that the links do not stay up very long, so they can avoid Microsoft taking these down. And for clarification, these are actually entirely legal because, as you all know, these are certified apps by Microsoft themselves. So even though Microsoft tries to take them down, they are completely legal. Okay. So with that out of the way, let's go on to the next step. So first off, you're going to need a USB drive, and once you do that, format it to where the file system is NTFS. If it's not NTFS, you need to format it to that specific file system. Once you do that, you need to head on over to the Security tab, and once you do that, click on Advanced, where you need to have these. What this is like, where you need to get full control of all application packages, and if it's not, you need to set it up to where it is that. Once you do that, you need to head on over to your new formatted flash drive itself and start creating folders. I recommend doing one for each games folder. Then once you do that, make folders for each system you plan to use on these emulators. In a special RetroArch system, once you do that, click on it. Then you need to make these folders: assets, cheats, config, info, logs, overlays, playlists, saves, states, system, and thumbnails. Once you do that, unplug your USB and go back to RetroArch on your system. Once you do that, go to settings and go all the way down to a directory where you need to do BIOS. Click on the D. Once you do that, go to games. And once you do that, you need to do the same thing for assets, thumbnails, config, info, cheats. Then you need to skip the couple next one until you go all the way down to overlays. You then RetroArch for screenshots, and config for input remaps, playlists. It goes on and on until you reach all the way at the bottom. So saves, states, and then logs. So once you do that, once you're all done with that, you need to head on over to File Browser and make sure everything is up to date, where you can even include hidden files. And once you do that, go to Configuration under Main Menu. I don't know why I did that one for a minute, because I actually forgot about that. Go Main Menu. You can go into Online Update and make sure everything's up to date, like update your assets, and make sure all your cores are updated as well, because you'll need them to be able to use. So update your installed cores and download new ones should you need to, and then go over to config file and save your current configuration so everything is all set up. That is imperative that you do that. Okay, so once you all do that, you click on load content. Choose D. C is for dev mode, this is for retail, so you need to click on D and find what games you want to play, and then you're all good to go. Now that that's out of the way, let's test out some games then, shall we? First off, this is Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Nintendo Wii. As you can see, gameplay, there are seemingly some hitches at times, but for the most part, the gameplay is pretty smoothly. I've been having a hell of a time with the Galaxy 2. Fun fact, I didn't play the original version back on the Wii, because by the time Galaxy 2 came out, I actually got rid of my Wii and moved over to the 360. So, and that was back in 2009, because since Galaxy 2 came out, the year afterwards. So I played it by emulation in the past before, but this is my first time doing it on an actual system, so so the gameplay is actually smooth because, yeah, the laptop I have right now, it's not exactly great for gaming. As you all know, I kind of said this in the past, but yeah, there you go. Okay, Galaxy 2 seems to run all fine and dandy. Let's move on to the next one. Next up we have Spider-Man 2 for the Game Boy Advance. Seemingly based on like the little gameplay, I played a couple missions on this and, you know, just kind of test out how it works and everything, and everything seems to be, shape with this one, seemingly no lag. At least that I've noticed. If there was, it's like very minimal where I couldn't notice it. Then again, I'm not too deep into the whole emulation thing, so probably who's more in the emulation scene than I am could probably tell me, or tell in the footage that if it has input lag or not. And there are things like where you can actually reduce the latency of lag if you're concerned about that. There are options to do that. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 for the Game Boy Advance, all good, right? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Next up we have Super Mario 64 Last Impact. This is actually a special ROM that was released, I think back in the late 2010s, I think? I've had it for years, and like have played it on and off. Yeah, it's seemingly 64, based on what I've seen the most issues I've had, because there was a ROM I couldn't play for some reason, it wouldn't launch for some reason. Maybe I need to like update these N64 emulator on here, I don't know, but who really knows at the end of the day. But the point is, I got, N64 ROM to work, so, and for the most part, it's, kind of what you expect. I simply haven't noticed any frame rate drops. There are sometimes some choppy audio, but again, emulation isn't perfect, But the point I'm kind of getting at is that, yeah, N64, it's great. It is good to go. Yeah, basically. So, and then finally, let's go back to what the original gameplay was I had at the beginning of the video. Shadow the Hedgehog for the GameCube. I know this game is like very controversial, but it's seemingly I haven't had this. There's some like hitches here and there, but it's only for like a few seconds. But kind of besides that, mostly I know this game was like very controversial back in the day, but I have nostalgia for this game, and it's funny enough, it's kind of weird playing Nintendo games on a Xbox. It's kind of weird, but then again, this game is multi-plat, while the Mario games, Mario Galaxy 2 wasn't, as you know. But yeah, it is very cool to see this type of emulation. And the reason I advocate so much for emulation, because let's kind of be real here, the corporations that kind of make these games, they don't really give a crap about these games anymore. So emulation is a way of preserving the games to be continued to be played for years on end. That's why I'm an advocate for gaming emulation, and more people should, quite honestly, because these companies, they don't give a crap, most part, because they'll just continue to resell the game if they know it'll sell well. They'll just continue to resell the game over and over and over again. I mean, look how many times, GTA 5 been re-released, or Skyrim. Obviously, those are the two infamous examples. But yeah, this is really freaking awesome to see this kind of thing. Who would have thought that, Nintendo games would be playable on Xbox? And let's do a quick FAQ. Will you get banned? As far as I know, and I've seen people ask this in the past, no. This has been going on over the past 2 years, and as far as I'm aware, nobody has been banned for the most part, so no. If you're worried about your account being banned, I wouldn't worry about that. It's not going to happen. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, the apps are certified. So, I doubt, funny enough, after playing this, I was playing Halo Online for Infinite Season 3 with a friend of mine earlier, so no issues there. So, yeah, you're not going to get banned for doing this. No hacking involved whatsoever. Now, let's talk about another question. Can RetroArch and whatnot play 3DS, Wii U, PlayStation 3, PS4, and Nintendo Switch games? No, because the reason for that is that RetroArch does not support DirectX, and some of the emulators require, and some RetroArch cores don't support DirectX at all. So for 3DS, Wii U, Switch, PS3, and PS4, you cannot play those games with this. But other than that though, you're kind of free game, so there's even other systems that I didn't even cover. Like, a whole bunch of, like, MAME, which is, like, you know, I believe that's arcade stuff. PS1, PS2, PSP. Let's see, what else? There was some, like, Sega Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast. Dreamcast is another system I'll probably check out, because, like, I have fond memories of the Dreamcast as well. There was some bangers on that system. Dang shame that system died, man, because that system was amazing. It was revolutionary ahead of its time. Man. Times were certainly different back then. But anyways, yeah. Really awesome to see this kind of support for emulation. And why more people should support emulation. So if you're interested, I'll drop a link to the website where you can join the Discord. There's various channels, so if you're interested in doing in dev or retail, there are guides to guide you through this. If I missed anything, you know, if you need help, let me know, and I'll do my best to help you. Because I had to use, there's also other YouTube guides that go into more detail than I have. Because there's more than one way to actually get the ROMs, like I said before. And also, USB isn't the only way to kind of set up where you can run the games. There's like a way where you can store the games internally. I decided to go the USB route because I think that's kind of easier. But again, you might find the other way better than the route I went with. You know, everyone's different. But other than that though, yeah, really awesome emulation. It's amazing, really, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this evolves. Obviously some games are more ran better than others, obviously. I think though, I've only had like a crash on me like once. And that was with Super Paper Mario for the Wii because I picked up an item in that game and the game crashed. That's the only time where I've ran into technical issues outside of here and there, you know, frame drops are like for like a few seconds. And choppy audio sometimes with Super Mario 64 Last Impact or whatever reason. But other than that though, yeah, emulation is great, man. And it's awesome, so if you're interested, again, I'll have a link down in the description below so you can start, you know, by joining that Discord and get yourself all set up. And fair warning, if the links to download the app in your Edge browser don't work, you just have to, you know, kind of make a role selection there so you'll be updated on when the apps are, you know, in a new link. So you can download the apps like that, because I had to do that. Because the links that I found originally did not work, but fortunately I was able to find new links, and fortunately it worked. So keep that in mind when you're trying this out, should you choose to. Keep that in mind, and if you get it running, have a blast, because there are some great classics, man. That some should absolutely deserve to get remakes or, you know, remasters or whatever, because there's some great games in gaming history. There's some great games. So again, if you're interested, I'll have the link down in the description if you're looking to check it out. So I think that kind of wraps up this video. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with emulation, and I think y'all will too, should you check this out. Alright, that's all I gotta say about this. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below, and if you like this video, hit the like button and consider hitting that sub button so you don't miss any more videos. Maybe I'll cover the 360 emulator as well, maybe. I'll think about that one, but until then, I'll see you on the next one. Until then, have a good one.